Kimmy visits Horace in the hospital where he surprises her with a marriage proposal. He doesn't ask out of love, he just wants to keep his money away from his sons, whom he despises. His will states that if he dies unmarried, they inherit everything. Marrying Kimmy would ensure they get nothing. She's hesitant, knowing his family won't be happy. But Horace assures her that his will has a clause that prevents anyone from inheriting if they commit a crime or cause his death. Kimmy admits to having killed two people. Horace isn't fazed and tells her that Jules, who knows her secret, can be controlled because he has his own hidden life, a wife and child who have no idea what he's been up to. Kimmy is tempted but asks for more time to think. Meanwhile, she finds out that a car she once stole had an old man in the back seat, something she never knew before. In a panic, she rushes to check on her sister Sylvie, only to hear from a nurse that the paperwork she submitted for Sylvie's care was fake. The hospital is planning to move Sylvie to another facility. Desperate to keep her nearby, Kimmy blurts out that she's engaged to Horace, hoping his name will buy her some time. At first, Sylvie is thrilled about the engagement until she realizes it's a lie. She confronts Kimmy, who tries to explain, but Sylvie is furious. She's learned the truth about Kimmy's past, including her criminal record and former life as a stripper. Feeling betrayed, Sylvie reminds Kimmy that she abandoned her in a dangerous situation, leaving her to suffer. Kimmy insists that everything she did was to protect her and give her a better future. She pleads with Sylvie to believe in her again. She tells her about Horace's offer, promising that if she says yes, they'll live in a mansion and finally be safe. She swears never to lie again and begs Sylvie to give her another chance. Meanwhile, Olivia is given a hospital tour when Lena interrupts, asking about cancer patients who might have been affected by hair products from Olivia's ex husband's company. She reveals that she's leading a lawsuit against the company and serves Olivia legal papers. Olivia tries to distance herself from the family, but Lena insists she's still involved. The argument turns physical, with Olivia attacking Lena, who threatens to sue her. Olivia, using her power at the hospital, manipulates security footage and warns Lena to back off or suffer the consequences. Olivia then notices Horace in a hospital bed. She demands to know what's going on, but Peter refuses to tell her, saying Horace doesn't want to be disturbed. Before Olivia can push further, Kimmy and Sylvie enter Horace's room, where Kimmy officially agrees to marry him. Horace is pleased and tells Sylvie that her sister will soon be in charge of his massive hair care company, Beauty in Black. Sylvie is shocked to realize just how wealthy Horace really is. Elsewhere, Mallory is suspicious when Horace doesn't follow his usual morning routine. She confronts Varney, who gets a call from Horace instructing him to meet at the hospital. Meanwhile, Olivia calls Norman, demanding to know why Horace is in the hospital. Norman is alarmed to hear that lawyers are involved, realizing something serious is happening. At the same time, Charles tells his brother Roy that their father might be cutting them out of the will. Roy dismisses the idea, saying Varney, who is secretly having an affair with his wife, would have told him. Charles suggests that Roy needs rehab, pointing out his erratic behavior. Olivia calls Charles, pressuring him to get to the hospital and find out what's going on. She then calls Mallory, who is shocked when Olivia mentions seeing a woman named Kimmy entering Horace's room. Realizing something big is happening, Mallory rushes to the hospital, then angrily calls Jules, warning him that if he's keeping secrets, she'll make him pay. Meanwhile, Kimmy confides in Rain about Horace's proposal. She's hesitant, knowing his family is a mess, but Rain sees it as an opportunity for them to escape their current lives. When she looks up Horace's net worth, $376 million, she pushes Kimmy to go through with it. She envisions a luxurious future where they can leave their old struggles behind. At the hospital, Mallory, Olivia, Norman, and Jules try to talk to Horace, but he refuses to let them in or even acknowledge them. Charles and Roy show up soon after. Inside Horace's room, Varney tells him that everyone has arrived. He then brings in Horace's associates, including Judge Wilkins and a notary. Horace greets them all and immediately asks the judge to give him a cognitive test to prove he's mentally sound. Just then, Kimmy, Sylvie, and Rain walk in. Horace introduces them, pointing out that Rain will be a witness. Then he drops a bombshell. Kimmy is his fiancée and soon to be wife. Varney is stunned and reminds Horace that he doesn't even have a marriage license yet, but Horace isn't concerned. Kimmy is skeptical and asks if this is all legit, especially since Horace hasn't even asked for a prenup. Varney assures her it's all official and congratulates her, but he keeps trying to pull her aside to talk in private. Kimmy gets suspicious and refuses to leave the room. Varney eventually claims he needs to use the restroom and asks her to wait for him, but she stands her ground and stays put. Realizing he can't get Kimmy to step away, Varney rushes to tell Mallory and the others what's happening. Horace is marrying a woman named Kimmy. Olivia and her family are furious. They immediately see this as a way for Horace to cut them out of his fortune. They decide they won't let it happen and push past security, barging into Horace's hospital room. Meanwhile, outside in the parking lot, the police arrest Angel after finding a car with a dead body inside. Back in the hospital, Mallory and the others storm into Horace's room. Horace turns to his associates and the judge. Then he looks straight at Olivia and warns everyone not to be fooled by her dimples. Finally, he turns to his sons and delivers the final shocker. Kimmy isn't just their new stepmother, she's also their new boss. Mallory, Olivia, and the rest stand there stunned, and the season ends.